Hey, welcome back to YT Finance, and today we are talking about SENS stock news. SENS stock has surged close to 23% in the last week, and it's now pressing even higher. However, I will tell you why some investors are selling their SENS stock to take some profits right now. We will also discuss why SENS could experience a short squeeze here soon, and why their current valuation may be too high, which adds more risk to owning this stock. Then lastly, we will perform some SENS stock analysis while also seeing what analysts think of this stock when we compare its current price to its 12-month price prediction. Go and press the like button right now for more SENS stock updates. Comment down below when you think their FDA approval will be or how many shares you own. Remember to turn on all subscription notifications to stay informed, and now let's make you some free money with Weeble. Weeble is a free brokerage app where you can buy and sell stocks, options, and cryptocurrencies, but right now you can get 2 free stocks with Weeble. You can get the first free stock, which can be worth anywhere from $2 to $250 for just creating an account. And you can get a second free stock, which can be worth up to $1,600 if you invest $100 or more on your first deposit. You will have a 1 in 100 chance of getting stocks like Facebook, Starbucks, or Snapchat, and you have a 1 in 50 chance of getting stocks like Google or Procter & Gamble. To get this offer, just press on the link in my description box down below, but do it quickly because this offer will not last forever. And without further ado, let's get into today's stories. Many investors, including myself, bought SENS stock in the beginning of June for around $2, and I just recently sold that for around $4.03 a share because the stock is overdue for a pullback in my opinion. Plus, this is just good risk management to take unrealized gains off the table so I can use this to then offset my risk and lower my chances of any loss. I have also been trading SENS stock for a while because of how this stock reacts from good news, especially since investors are waiting and anticipating the FDA approval, which is fast approaching. SENS stock has had a fantastic week because it closed around 22.4% higher than last week. Year to date, the stock is up over 345%, which are phenomenal gains. This week, the stock traded as high as $4.09 and as low as $3.46, but if you bought around $2, you would have made profits regardless of when you sold this week. Or a better strategy could be just to hold the stock if you bought around $2 until the FDA approval, which could cause the stock price to skyrocket. However, I personally wanted to take profits off the table. Since the stock increased by 100%, I didn't want to be greedy, and I wanted to cover the cost of my original investment. Now, this was an impulse trade because we had mixed results from indicators, but I listened to the relative strength index, which was above 70, which indicates that the stock could be overbought. However, with that being said, the MACD, which is a momentum indicator, says the stock was trending upwards, so we will see if this is a good move in the long term. I also plan to reinvest into the stock once the stock price cools down, because right now the SENS stock is red hot, so let me tell you what I mean by that. I am not bearish on the stock at all, and I hope it does well. So well, in fact, that I hope that I am going to be able to jump back in when the time presents itself. But I needed to manage my risk of loss first before jumping back in. It seems that people are being very greedy right now, which scares me, so that's why I sold to manage my risk. This stock has outperformed its peer average by almost 1,000%, coming in at 997.8%. So this stock has to cool off soon. The stock market is extremely hungry for growth plays, and SENS stock presents exactly that, and it hasn't really cooled off recently. It's only really gone up. Also, this stock has massive potential thanks to its Sense continuous glucose monitoring system that is currently being FDA approved for its 180-day system, so I'm super excited for that. The company's revenues are also going to multiply by 10 times in the next 4 to 5 years. Right now, the revenues are anticipated to be around $14 million, and that is supposed to go to $200 million by 2025. However, some investors think that the current market capitalization does not match the company's sales growth, so the stock is going to pull back harshly. On the other hand, other investors think that the stock will short squeeze soon, which will cause the stock price to go parabolic. So having a small speculative position in this play could be very good, especially if the short squeeze scenario is correct. However, that's more of a short-term play. If you got in this stock below $2 or around $1, here, you're going to be set for a very long time because this is going to have great growth rates as time progresses. You're just going to have to hold on for the long term. Because the market valuation is around $1.6 billion, many investors think that the stock price will actually retreat to around $1 or $2 a share. There are pros and cons to both scenarios. For instance, if you currently have unrealized gains, then I personally would take some profits off the table to lower risk, which is good risk management. But do not take it all out. Now, if you have unrealized losses in this stock, it would be beneficial for you to wait for a short squeeze or FDA approval. However, if you are still negative after those catalysts pass, then use tax loss harvesting to make up for some of your losses. Or you could just hold it long term if you believe in the company's massive growth potential. This also depends on when you personally think the FDA approval will come through. If the FDA approval is soon, it could cause the stock price to short squeeze. However, if the approval is prolonged, the stock will probably trend downward, which is another reason why I took profits. However, I personally will not be shorting the stock at all because there is a chance that the price could increase and continue to trend upwards based upon its momentum that we're seeing right now. We also have to throw in macroeconomic factors. What is the overall market going to be doing right now? For instance, if we see investors starting to cycle out of growth stocks, especially speculative growth stocks, that's really going to hurt SENS stock. So I personally will reinvest into SENS stock and make more trades when the stock price drops to $1 to $2. However, if it never drops that low, that's fine by me. There's plenty of other stocks that I will trade and invest long term in. And once SENS proves its valuation, I might hold a long-term position in it because the technology is just so amazing. I personally am more risk adverse than a lot of investors. High risk is high reward. I like steady ETF investing. So if you want to go all in on a speculative stock that has massive growth potential, I'm not going to stop you because it could definitely work out for you. Even analysts like this stock to a degree. For instance, SENS stock has an overall rating of 53%, which means it ranks higher than 53% of all stocks on the market. And in its specific industry, which is diagnostics and research, its rank is 70, which means it ranks higher than 70% of all other stocks in its industry. According to analysts, they have SENS stock price predictions of 80 cents on the low end, $3.46 is the average, and $6 is the bullish SENS stock price target on the high end. And this is what the stock is going to be worth in the next 12 months according to analysts. But with FDA approval on the horizon, we should get price target upgrades from analysts. But until then, you really need to look at your portfolio and manage your risk accordingly. Is this stock good enough to hold on to? Are you a long-term or short-term position holder? Are you going to hold through the volatility and the ups and the downs of this stock? And if you are, that's great news because this stock does have long-term growth potential, especially since it's going to more than 10 times its revenues in less than 5 years. But what are your thoughts? Comment down below, like this video if you made it all the way to the end, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next YT video.